What sort of things do you do when the weather's cold now? See, you got a short club in your hand right there to get ready to come out on PGA Tour Champions or play at the Valspar.
I do a lot of short clubs all the time. There's a lot of little targets out here that we hit at. Try to make it in a little net basket. Try to hit these metal signs to make the noise go off. You know, it's a lot of little things to get started. It takes me a little while to warm up. You know, let the heaters warm up a little bit. I use a lot of this Medicus. I've always, since I started playing better, I've kind of gravitated towards this as far as a tempo tool. We got to have good tempo on the way back, so I use a couple staples all the time. You know, a lot of little shots, practicing loosening up with little shots, and then something like this Medicus to work on that rotation and the tempo.
Okay, tell us about some of the things that you do fundamentally to try and make these shots work for you. You've got the targets, but how can the folks at home become better chippers in terms of what you do?
Yeah, I think for me it's always been I've never changed. Dennis would call me bullheaded. Probably am a little bit.
Which makes them good. Yeah.
But it's been my style from day one, and I don't use a lot of hand action. I find that it's more consistent. When I take these long breaks, I feel like I kind of can get back into my short game pretty quickly and just then go to the tournament and kind of get used to the grass, whatever we're playing on that week, if it's ryegrass, Bermuda, bent. But for me, it's always been fairly simple, and that's not a lot of hand action, and rotate the club to the right, and then depending on what I want to do, if I want to hit it in the air higher, I'll rotate it to the right and then leave it open. Or if I want to hit it lower, I'll rotate it still, or maybe not rotate it as much, and then rotate it and turn it down on the way through to flatten it out a little bit. So I work a lot with a 60-degree sand wedge, and I have my entire career. I don't do a lot of chip and runs with 8 irons. I'll maybe drop down to my 54 degrees. So I keep it pretty simple between two clubs. 60 degree and my 54, depending on the shot. You know, it's probably the most important part. You know, half of our shots come from putting and chipping, right. More than half. And so it's something that we all need to spend more time doing.
All good information. And if you don't have a short game like Steve Stricker, and you don't, make sure that you end up practicing twice as much with the short game as you do with the full shot. And as you can see my breath, right now, you know it's not golf season here in Madison, Wisconsin, but still on the minds of many Wisconsin golf fans. They're thinking about Steve Stricker, their favorite son, and him starting a new chapter in his golf career, his debut on PGA Tour Champions.